Hi guys, here's another video with your girl Chrissy. This week I'm gonna have my cousin joining me, doing some meals, and here she is. She's gonna introduce herself.
Hi, this is Gammy from the A Day in the Life of Gammy YouTube channel. We're gonna go back to our roots, our Caribbean roots, and do some Caribbean tropical meals this week.
So we're gonna start with conch fritters today. So here is some scallions, conch that she is getting ready to dice up, guys. And earlier you seen diced peppers, green, red, and orange.
Also, we added a serrano pepper for heat, and this video actually is on. We're using Bahamian conch. Conch meat is that meat that comes out of the good shell that you can hear the ocean in case you all didn't know. So right now I'm just dicing up the meat, which is very tender. It's a very tender, very sweet seafood. And you see me now mixing it in the bowl with all the peppers, the onions. I put some fresh lime juice in there.
So she's just going to give it a mixy mix, guys. Toss some of the pepper and, like she said earlier, the lime for flavor. So she's going to get those flavors going.
And after doing this with the conch meat, you want to keep it chilled. I put in some onion powder, and then I used some complete seasoning. You got to have that complete seasoning. And then I used some crushed red pepper for a little extra heat, give it a little spice. And then next I put in my favorite, a cayenne pepper, because there's nothing like a spicy girl. They used to call me spicy. And of course, my grandmother's favorite, nature's seasoning.
It looks like a lot, guys, but it's not. So we're just giving it another mix.
And we're going to keep mixing it to incorporate everything, because this part of the conch preparation is going to be our conch salad. We're going to add some spicy V8 juice to that, maybe half of that, because you have to have conch salad with conch fritters. So this is like the appetizer. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a little orange juice. I like fresh orange juice, but you know, sometimes you got to use what you got to use. So we add orange juice to that. And once we get the orange juice added in and get it all incorporated, then I'll give it another good stir to mix it all together. And then we're going to go ahead and add some fresh limes. This conch salad is a delicacy, and it's always been one of our family favorites. When we got together, we visit our family in Miami. This was always one of the first dishes that we made.
This looks very delicious, guys. It has to go in the refrigerator for about how long?
Well, usually you want it, the longer it marinates, the better it tastes. But normally 4 hours is good to let it sit and get nice and cold. You know, it's like my family's version of a ceviche. So, and now I'm preparing the peppers again for the conch fritters. Now you got to have a conch fritter with conch salad. Isn't that right, Chrissy?
Yes.
So.
And we're also going to do red rice and corn. So here I am marinating yellow onion with bacon grease.
And this is definitely my grandmother, Bay Honey's recipe. And Chrissy is the only person that really knows how to make it just like she made it.
I use Hunt's tomato sauce. I have to have Hunt's, guys.
Again, these are the peppers. This is the trinity that I'm using for the conch fritters. So we're just showing you what we're making, because this was our Sunday tropical dinner. And I'm just putting them in a bowl right now to get that all ready, so I can go ahead and get these fritters together to show y'all exactly what we're talking about.
So she's going to mix all of that up, guys. And here I am getting back to my rice. So I added green pepper, red pepper. I already had onions. And now, so guys, now I'm adding tomato sauce. And I'm just going to let it simmer a little bit. And yes, I'm going to get every bit out of the can.
You know, Chrissy, let's just talk about that recipe. That was one of Mama's staples, right?
Yes.
That was something that was always cooked in our household.
And now I'm just going to add a little black pepper. then just give it a stir. And let it simmer some more.
That's looking good right there.
And a little nature seasoning. Gotta have it. Again, it looks like a lot of seasoning, but it's not. And that is onion powder.
But you know, if you ain't sneezing, it ain't seasoned.
And because I'm using a whole box of Uncle Ben's rice, guys, that was washed. So here we go, adding the rice. You always have to wash your rice. I added corn as well, and then a half a stick of butter. And then you just let your rice steam out. I'm just checking it right now. It's not done. So I'm gonna cover it, and we're getting back to the conch.
All right, guys. So here we are. I got everything nice and diced. And, you know, I'm just going to tell you a little story. I watched my uncle make these conch fritters one time, and that's all it took, and I perfected them. So I'm going to get everything slid in the bowl. Once again, all the peppers. But, you know, again, I added the serrano pepper, the red, yellow, green, and orange peppers, the shallots, and the onions. So I'm going to get that all incorporated in a bowl right now. And then I'm going to go on and move over to, that's the serrano pepper. Now, that's it only if you want it spicy. You know, it's optional. I'm going to go ahead and dice that up and get it on into the bowl. And so next we're going to go ahead and get ready to get the conch prepared. Now, the conch usually comes in a big piece, so it has to be diced. You can use a food processor, but I'm old school. Also, I forgot to tell you that I add Roma tomatoes to it, because the Roma tomatoes add flavor into the conch fritters. And you just de-seed the tomatoes and dice them small. It's nothing special, nothing spectacular, just added. I like tomatoes in mine.
So she's just gonna dice these up, guys, and add the pieces to the bowl as well.
And I know I probably could use a food processor, but you know what? I'm old school, so we're going to do things old school. We're going to use that knife and that cutting board, because that's the way our grandmother did. Isn't that right, Chrissy?
Yes. And guys, my Aunt Alice is here. I'm so excited. Everybody knows that I get excited when my Alice P comes into town. So she's here as well.
You know, I know that while we're watching these tomatoes get diced, I just want to tell you that, like, you know, I'm Alice P's daughter. I'm Chrissy's favorite cousin. She just don't want to admit it, tell nobody else, because we got to keep that a secret. But we are going to be collaborating on quite a few of our family favorite dishes this week. So make sure that you all, you know, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification so that you will always know when she posts another video.
And thank you guys for supporting me as far as you have. We're just gonna continue to slice up these tomatoes.
And it seems like it's a lot, but you know what? It's a big old family, big old pot of conch fritters. So we gotta slice and dice those tomatoes. And actually, I'm just a little old, so it just took me a little longer than it should.
Yes, guys, it's gonna come. It's gonna be delicious. We're so used to eating this stuff.
So, you know, and I just want to go on, guys. I'm so proud of Chrissy, you know, stepping out on faith and deciding to showcase her skills that we all know that she's had for years and years and years. She's actually motivated me to go on and do my daily blog and to post just a life in, you know, a day in the life every day of a grandmother. You know, my grandkids call me Gammy. So, you know, if you got a chance, go check my page out. It'll be different content. It'll be me traveling, shopping, being a grandmother, cooking, just different little things. It's just everything, a day about my life. So that's a day in the life of a Gammy. It's on YouTube.
Look how small these tomatoes are. We want them diced small. Now she's adding them to the bowl. And we're going to give it a mix. mix. Oh, all those colors. That looks so pretty, doesn't it, Dana?
It does, because you visually eat anyway. And it's just bright.
Add some lime as well.
Nothing but fresh lime. I love fresh lime.
Yeah.
It just brightens up your food. It gives it a good flavor and just keeps everything, it melts everything together. Don't you think that when you add fresh citrus to like a seafood dish, it just melts everything together?
It definitely makes a difference.
Yeah. It definitely gives it that zest that you need. And yes, I'm pan squeezing. Again, I'm old school, so we just do things, like they did in the old days, like my grandmother and her mother and her grandmother before us. So.
Oh God, that looks so pretty. So now the conch has been added.
Yes.
And we're just giving it a toss.
I just want to say about the conch, it's Bahamian conch. There are two types of conch. There's the Turks and Caicos. First, let me let you know what seasonings I'm putting into the fritters. There's the onion powder. And then I'm going to hit it with, boom, my grandmother's favorite, nature seasoning. Gotta have the nature seasoning. I need to own stock in nature seasoning. There you go. So, and it does seem like a lot, but it's really not. Nature seasoning is very low sodium.
Yeah, because once you add the batter and everything else, it's going to soak up some of the seasoning anyway.
Exactly. And of course, crushed red pepper, because you gotta have that spice to it. It's not Caribbean without spice, And then complete seasoning, can't live without it. Because what else I'm going to add to this? How about a little garlic powder? Because, garlic makes everything better. And then I'm going to give it a good stir so I can get this batter going. And there are several ways to do your batter. This, to me, is the easiest way to do the batter. Just incorporate and make sure everything's incorporated, because you still have to cook it. So, and of course that fresh lime, which brightens up all of that seafood. It brightens up the flavor. It makes everything just meld together, like I said.
Gosh, she's going to squeeze the life out of that lime.
I got strong hands. Been doing it for years. You gotta squeeze it. Like I said, back in the day, we didn't have squeezers. Now, this is the key to the batter, guys. Buttermilk complete pancake mix. You can make your own batter, but this is the easy way. I work smart, not hard. So what I do is I take it when it's dry, and I add half of the pack into the conch and the vegetable mixture. Then I take that and I fold it in. And incorporate everything in. Now, as you can see, I haven't added any liquid to it, right, Chrissy? I haven't added anything to it because I want everything to be folded in. This is why you have to season heavily, because you need to season. You don't want the sweet of the pancake mix. So here I am adding some distilled water, just a bottle of water, any kind of water you want to use. And I started with a small amount so I could fold it in. Give it a good mix. And Chrissy was kind of teasing me, talking about you moving slow, but hey, I earned the right to move a little slow at this part, because it's thick, it's a thick batter. So then I'm still incorporating it and getting it all mixed up. Once it's mixed up, it's kind of smooth, right?
Right. Once I helped you out.
Yeah, she did help me out. She really came in and, gave it that muscle. So there we go. That's the finished product. That's your batter. When the spoon can stand up like that, you're good to go.
Guys, we are back to this rice. It is looking delicious. I did add some more butter to that. Now we're going to go back to the batter, because it's just how we need it.
Gave it a good stir. Now we're using vegetable oil. I recommend vegetable oil, or even if you have avocado oil, that's something with a low, burn, where it's not going to smoke real bad and burn the actual fritters. And you just take a scoop or a spoon or a measuring cup, whatever you want to do, and just make them the size that you want them. I like them a little bit thicker than most people do. They're actually cooked thin, but I like mine, I want to bite to it when I bite into it. So here's the procedure, or the how we do, you know, put it in the pan and everything. You just get that grease moving around.
And guys, you could also put them in a ball and on parchment paper and freeze them and deep fry them as well. But I just prefer mine as a fritter, just like this.
Uh-oh, that was me.
She's struggling a little bit, guys.
I was struggling. Okay. It was a struggle. It's a situation right there because I wanted it perfect. There we go. Boom.
But look at the color on them, guys. They are nice and golden. Beautiful. Of course, I got the first one, you know.
Yeah, you know, you want to make them cook them on low heat. You want them cooked all the way through. You don't want them doughy. You want the batter cooked through. You want to still have a little bite to your vegetables, but that it makes that conch meat nice and tender. And then you want to take them out, you know, dry them on a piece of paper towel, you know, to get the excess grease off. And then you just keep repeating. Now, believe it or not, Krissy, we made 50 conch fritters Sunday?
Yes,
we made 50
out of that batter that you guys seen.
And you know, Krissy can post the recipe down below in her link. And
so
here's
this is our plate, guys. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Okay.
We have coleslaw,
homemade,
our rice and corn and conch fritters with lime on the side, guys.
That's some good eating. I hope that you all enjoyed this, our little tropical Sunday dinner, and we definitely will bring you more like this. But in order for us to keep doing this content, you need to
look at the inside of that, guys.
You need to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Thanks, guys. Have a nice night.